Shiro is injured and Sakura decides to come and take care of him. On one day when Shiro is coming back home, he finds Sakura being hit by her brother and steps in. But sadly, this wasn't the last time Sakura had this happen to her. Shiro summons Saber, the strongest servant, and fights in the Holy Grail War. There are a total of 7 servants. Shiro and Saber fight against Berserker and the white-haired girl, but get absolutely destroyed. Shiro heals and goes with Saber to fight against Rider and finish her off in a single hit. Lancer fights against Assassin, going as far as to unleash his noble phantasm against him, but he dies to Assassin's ultimate ability. Assassin also kills 2 more servants. Sakura's grandpa, Mato, uses the dead body of Castor to fight against Shiro and Rin, but an imaginary space appears, swallowing the dead body of Castor. Shiro and Saber enter the Ryoto temple and are ambushed by Assassin and Mato. Saber is killed when fighting against Assassin, and Rider comes to rescue Shiro. There are now 3 servants remaining. Shiro faces off with the imaginary space, but as he moves towards it, it disappears, and he realizes he has truly lost Saber. Shiro runs around attempting to find Saber. However, he just finds her being swallowed by a sea of ribbons, and the imaginary space appears again. This time, however, it rushes towards him and swallows him, leaving his shadow behind. He wakes up to the side of snow. Sakura notices Saber is gone and asks if Shiro will be in danger anymore since he won't be going out at night. Shiro tells Sakura she is wrong, as he was the one going out of his own free will and will likely be going out even more now. The white-haired girl, Ilya, comes and throws snow at Shiro. She calls him her big brother and asks him for his name. Shiro tells her his name and she hugs him. She calls the slash that he received from Berserker an accident and that if she wanted to, she could kill him this instant. He asks her if she knows about his father, but she just leaves. Rin finds Shiro and begins preparing for a plan. Young Sakura is on a train and begins running, but finds a sea of insects swarming towards her. Rin is mad that Shiro didn't tell her that Sakura had a fever. He enters the home and his door is opened. He gets a phone call and begins to run outside the home. He enters the school library and finds Sakura's brother, Shinji, standing along with Rider. He holds a knife to her neck. He makes Shiro fight with Rider, and Rider vanishes towards him, kicking him to the side. Rider runs along the bookcases, kicking him down again. She picks him up and tells him that he has won since he has good endurance. Shinji tells Rider to kill him off, and she punches him. However, this punch allows him to get close to Shinji to kick him off Sakura, saving her and holding the knife. There was a book hidden in his stomach to shield the blow, and as Shinji runs towards Shiro, he gets punched hard enough to send him spinning like a ballerina. He commands Rider to kill him with her book, but Rin and Archer come dashing in to stop Rider in her tracks. Archer slashes at Rider, making her bleed. My man just can't stop losing. Shinji uses his command book on Rider again, forcing her to stand up and electrocuting her. Sakura cries and tells Rider to stop listening to him, and the book burns. Rider teleports next to Sakura and heals all of her wounds, and she stops responding to Shinji's commands. Rin realizes that Sakura was the one who summoned Rider. She is the master, and was the one telling Rider to obey Shinji's commands. Shinji's still begging for attention over here and gets ignored by everyone still. Shinji then orders Sakura to kill Shiro and Rin, but she refuses. He crushes a crystal, and another crystal crushes on Sakura's earrings. Archer throws Shiro away, and dark spaces begin to appear around her. Rider clashes against Archer, forcing him back. The magical energy begins to swarm the building, creating a barrier above them. Sakura tells Rider to stop. Rider releases her eye mask, sending a gaze towards Archer that goes all the way into his blood cells and turns them into stone. This follows with his body turning into stone along with Rin and Shiro's. She has the magic eyes of petrification. She is Medusa. The magical slashes come and slash Shiro as he protects Rin. 3 appear next to Sakura and slash her in her place. Shiro wakes up at the church, and the priest Kyrie tells Shiro that he has been treating Sakura. Kyrie used all of his magical crest to treat Sakura and found worms that devoured Sakura's life energy and destroyed the parts of her brain that control pleasure. Her life is being sucked away, and the only way to truly get rid of these worms is to win the Holy Grail. Rin is ready to kill Sakura, and it is revealed that Sakura is Rin's biological little sister. The Tosuka family had 2 children, but only taught magecraft to one of them, Rin. Sakura was given off to the Mato family to be their heir. Rin wants to protect people from Sakura's ability, but Sakura has already run out of her bed by the time Rin appears. Shiro looks out the window and finds the home keys that he had given to her while he was still being treated. This was something Sakura held dear to her, so Shiro begins running to find her. Shiro has a flash in his memories and the white-haired girl appears again, but she won't fight him as he is no longer a master. She comforts Shiro, telling him that she is on his side. She tells him she knew Shiro's father and that her original objective was to kill Shiro and his father, but she has changed her mind to help Shiro as he just wants to protect his loved ones. Sakura cries alone, but Shiro has found her. She She confesses that the only reason she was coming to Shiro's place this whole time was because she was too scared to stand up against her grandfather. She was going to pretend that she's never met Shiro starting tomorrow. Shiro doesn't stop walking towards her. The person he wants to protect, the person he doesn't want to be hurt anymore, is Sakura. He will be the one to protect her. He hands her the keys and tells her that this is her home. She tells Shiro that she isn't a virgin because of her dark past, and Shiro hugs her, telling her that he will protect her no matter what happens. He hands her the key and holds her hand. On their way home, they find Rin and Archer. Sakura calls her big sister, but then corrects herself and calls her Rin. As they are walking, Archer tells Shiro, if you kept the belief you've been sticking with, continue to do so. The results are obvious. But if you are going to choose a different past, you will lose everything. Sakura is still a bit lacking in magical energy, so she is ready to ask for something, but instead asks for some of his blood. Bruh, what the f is this masochist shit? The next day, they are eating lunch with Ryder, and they give her utensils instead of chopsticks. Shiro plans to have Sakura win the war to use the Holy Grail. Shiro plans on working with another master to help Sakura, and heads off to team with Berserker. Sakura sends Ryder after him to make sure he is safe. She stares at herself in the mirror and thinks that she will never let Shiro go outside again. That way he will never be in danger. She stops and can't recall what she just said. She leaves the room, but a shadow still remains, and leaves later. Shiro is attempting to reach Ilya, but finds Mato and Assassin facing them off. In the distance, plants begin to wither, and the ribbons appear to be summoning something. The dark form of Saber appears and wields a dark Excalibur. Berserker senses this and rushes with his entire power towards the source. A massive blow comes, annihilating the field and everything standing in its path. Rin blocks Shiro from being about to die. The field is absolutely burned down and Saber walks across it. This is the power of Dark Saber, and Shiro finally sees her. Berserker rushes at blinding speed to attack her, but is absolutely unable to do anything. The ribbons begin to restrict Berserker's movements, and she launches him towards her, slashing him in half and killing him. Mato orders Saber to kill Ilya, but Berserker activates his noble phantasm and resurrects. Saber activates her full power as Berserker rushes towards her. The field explodes with millions of colors. Shiro attempts to protect Ilya, but Archer comes to rescue them. Archer activates his ability and rushes at vanishing speeds, protecting them from Assassin. He rushes with his blades towards Assassin, summoning his arrows and firing to attempt to get rid of him. He knocks him down, ready to end him, but ribbons interrupt this battle. This is able to stop Archer in his place, as these ribbons are supposed to restrict every single heroic spirit in their place. Berserker is being dismantled, and Saber begins heading towards the Masters. Ilya screams Berserker's name, and he rips the ribbons, kicking Saber with his full power. He grabs her face, crushing it against a pillar of stone. His speeds allow him to launch across the sky, but Saber cuts him again in half with her powerful sword. Berserker is still not dead yet, regenerating his arms. He runs slashing towards Saber, parrying her enormous blows. But she just cuts him in half along with the castle. Berserker launches steel towards her. He chases her down the building as they destroy it, dragging her across the stone and slamming her into the ground. His strikes are strong enough to explode the entire field. Saber, however, activates his sword, escaping his grasp, and sending him burning. He's still able to come back to life, and Saber clutches her sword, preparing to use her noble phantasm. As Berserker's fists get closer to Saber, she uppercuts him and activates her sword at her full ability. Flames begin to launch across the entire sky as she slashes him down in half, sending the energy to fly across the entire field and creating an enormous explosion that obliterates everything in its path. There are only 2 servants remaining. Saber comes to Shiro and points her sword at him. Her mask breaks, revealing her face. She runs away, leaving Assassin to do the rest, and getting swallowed up by the mysterious ribbons. Rin attempts to fight against Assassin, but he dodges her and is about to kill Shiro and Ilya. Archer fires his arrows to rescue them. Assassin is startled by the fact that Archer has incredible regeneration abilities. Kinda like someone else here. The ribbons begin to engulf the entire field, and Archer orders Shiro to protect Ilya to the very end. Archer runs towards Assassin, kicking his head into the ground. Assassin keeps running away. Archer states that he is not a heroic spirit like the rest. He is also a distorted heroic spirit like Assassin. Assassin disappears. The imaginary space appears again, ready to kill Tosuka, but Archer takes the blow and is launched into the water. The imaginary space faces off with Archer, gathering magical energy and slashing against him. It gets ready to release the magical energy, but Archer begins to chant his noble phantasm. I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body. I have created over 1,000 blades. Ro Ias! Shiro has lost his arm and is bleeding out. Archer is struggling to walk and realizes that this is the end for him. Archer cuts off his arm and Shiro heads back home with a red cast around him. If Shiro attempts to move his arm, Archer's energy will overflow Shiro's body and destroy him, so his arm will remain in the cast for the meantime. Sakura eavesdrops on Shiro and Rin talking in the basement and hears that Rin was also there to see. Wait, Archer died? There is only one servant remaining. The last servant stands. Sakura eavesdrops on Shiro and Rin talking in the basement and hears that Rin was also there to see how Shiro kept trying to high jump 4 years ago. This shocks Sakura in her place. Sakura begins hyperventilating and crying, asking to not let that memory be taken away from her as she holds it dear to herself. Shiro attempts to slightly take the seal off, and energy overflows within him, crushing his mind for a moment. He understands that he can't take off the seal yet. Shiro is sleeping and Sakura comes standing at the door. She is low on magical energy again and closes the door behind her when she walks in. She unties the ribbon and hugs Shiro from the back. Sakura asks Shiro if he likes her as a girl, and Shiro says that he does like Sakura. She asks him to make love to her. Shiro calls her beautiful and kisses her. Sakura cries, worrying that Shiro may be taken by someone else, but Shiro hugs her and comforts her, noticing her shadow is beginning to glitch. He hugs her tighter, not letting go. Thank you guys for continuing this journey with me, but it doesn't end there. The true nature of Sakura's abuse is about to be revealed, and darkness begins to overtake her mind. Click here to find out what happens next.